This lesson is on subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. So for example, 8/10 minus, there's our subtraction, 1/2. The bottom numbers 10 and 2 are the denominators. And unlike means that, see how the 10 and the 2 are different numbers? That's what it means by unlike. So there's rules in math for when you add and subtract fractions that the denominators must be the same, and they're not the same here. If they're not the same, it's our job today to change it to be the same. And our tool for that is that we use multiplication. On the next problem, I'll show you how to find the least common denominator, but our job is to get to write an equivalent fraction so that it's the same. There's two types of problems I'm going to show you. Type 1's a little bit easier, and type 2 will be the next problem, which involves a little bit more steps. So we said it involves multiplication. I cannot multiply 10 by a whole number and get 2, but I can multiply 2 by 5 and see how that would equal 10, and they're the same. So the bottom number, or in other words, the denominators are the same here. Whatever you do on the bottom, we need to do on the top, and that's right here. Multiply both the top and the bottom. So we'll multiply the 1 by 5, and that becomes 5/10. So now we have a fraction that has the same denominator. Let's rewrite that. So here's the 8/10, and we didn't have to change this one at all because it already is 10, minus our 5/10. And so 8 on the top minus 5. Our numerator would be 3. I always like to say boom, boom, boom. In other words, it stays the same, 10, 10, 10. And so that's how you would do that. And we don't need to simplify this fraction. It's already simplified. Let me show you how the 1/2, and we change that into 5/10. So that's how that would look if you were to use a model. It would be the same size. Scooch that over. So the 1/2 is the same, or in other words, it's equivalent or the same size as 5/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/10. All right, let's look at a type 2 problem. Type 2 is when you have the two denominators and you just can't switch one. You're going to have to switch both. For example, 3/4 minus 1/3, the 4 and the 3 are not the same. I can't multiply 4 by a whole number and get 3, and I can't multiply 3 and get 4. So I'm going to have to end up multiplying both. I'm going to rewrite this so that we can lay it out a little bit better and see our work. And I'm going to use a T-chart. A T-chart is just a way to show our denominators, and then we'll find multiples. So for example, 1 times 4 would be 4. 1 times 3 would be 3, so that's not common. 2 times 4 would be 8. 2 times 3 would be 6. 3 times 4 would be 12. 3 times 3 would be 9. I see that 12, and I do know that 4 times 3 is 12. And so here is our common denominator. Sometimes it's called a common multiple. So we are going to write equivalent fractions that use 12. So this is really easy because now we know exactly what we need to turn them both into. So that part's done. Remember that we used multiplication for both steps to find our least common denominator. For this one, it was 3 times 4 equals 12, which we proved up here. And whatever we do on the bottom, we're going to do on the top. So 1 times 4 would be 4/12. And then here we did 4 times 3, which we showed up on our T-chart. And whatever we do on the bottom, you remember here, multiply both top and bottom, that would be 9. So 9/12 minus 4/12 would equal 5/12. All right, well, I hope that was helpful today, and we'll see you next time.